Crommett, and I'm a freshman here at the University of Notre Dame. I'm a film and business major, and we're actually inside the Performing Arts Center right now, which is where I spend most of my time being a film major. It's brand new. It has so many nice facilities for film majors like me, editing studios and acting classes and everything that I could possibly dream of. Notre Dame is a perfect size campus, in my opinion. There are about 12,000 students total, about 8,400 undergrad. The campus is pretty large and spread out. It's probably one of the biggest, but it's not too hard to get to your classes. And the center of campus is marked by the famous Golden Dome, which encompasses the spirit of Notre Dame and is basically central to campus. Something that I love about Notre Dame is that everyone here is really dedicated to what they do, and everyone knows that only through hard work will they get where they need to go. Most students on campus, if not all, have been involved in community service in one way or another, and they carry through that service into college. And so there are a lot of people who are really dedicated to the community, and there are many clubs that you can join to get involved. There are actually over 100 clubs, probably more, on campus. So basically anything you're interested in, there's probably a club for. I'm actually in the process of creating my own club right now for Dream Catchers, which is the foundation that I started to grant the final dreams of hospice patients in the area. So hopefully that'll be on campus soon. The student body, we all live in the undergraduate residence halls, which basically encompass the spirit of Notre Dame, because even though they're single-sex dorms, it kind of makes it like sororities and fraternities in some way, because we don't have a Greek system here, but everything that you do is in the spirit of your hall, and you get really involved and you live there. Many people live in their halls for all 4 years. Most people at least 3 years on campus. That's my plan. Hopefully 3 or 4 years I'll be living in my hall, which is Walsh Hall, and it was actually the Women's Hall of the Year last year, which is exciting. My dorm, Walsh Hall, is actually one of the oldest on campus, but I actually love it because it has a lot of tradition and a lot of character, more so than the newer ones on campus, which is great. If Notre Dame were to have a specific personality type, per se, that might fit here, it would probably involve mainly service-oriented as well as academically inclined, obviously, but dedicated, hardworking students. But definitely service is a huge thing here at Notre Dame, and that's probably one of our biggest pillars as far as what the student body is characterized by. So that's really great, which is probably how my application stood out, I'm assuming, because I was very involved in community service back home. A lot of people here have done similar things as far as community service and starting up things, but just showing initiative and showing leadership is a big thing. Another thing that is great about Notre Dame is there are no feelings of superiority. You can't tell that anyone thinks they're above anyone else. I'm just saying a lot, considering most of the students here were probably at the top of their classes in high school, but they come here and just everyone's open-minded towards each other. We're all helpful. There's really no one who thinks they're above or better than anyone else. Everyone is dedicated to something, and you rarely find that anywhere else, because here Notre Dame really fosters that and fosters a student that will get involved in something and then dedicate themselves to that something. So because there's so many ways to get involved, everyone finds their niche and everyone finds something that they love. Notre Dame has many strengths, but also there are some weaknesses that some people might bring up. One of the biggest weaknesses is probably the fact that the girls and guys are separated into their single-sex dorms, and therefore this kind of makes it harder to form close friendships with members of the opposite sex. But Obviously, people manage. It just takes probably more effort than if you were at a normal university where girls and guys are in the same dorm. Talking about my overall experience at Notre Dame, I have loved every minute of it. There's not been one part that that I regret so far, but I'm only in my second semester, so. But the most challenging thing probably for me was adjusting to, balancing academics and social life. Because when you first get here, you're so overwhelmed by all the social activities going on and being surrounded by your friends 24/7. It just makes it hard to focus on academics. So that I struggled with in the first semester. But it was definitely a learning experience, and I've adjusted to balancing my academics and social life. So you adjust pretty quickly, and the transition from high school is not too bad academically. The professors definitely expect a lot more, but they have office hours and they're really helpful to go to, so I would recommend that. And it's just basically learning to be open-minded and adjusting to your specific professor and what they would like in their class. But overall, it hasn't been too hard of an adjustment, and everyone's here to help each other out, and we're all in the same boat. So it's really nice to be surrounded by equally hardworking people that are so willing to help. I'm in a couple film classes this semester, and I'm also taking business law. But as far as university requirements, we're required to take 2 semesters of philosophy as well as 2 semesters of theology. And so they range from many different topics within those subjects. But for me, philosophy was probably the most challenging course that I've had so far. And it was probably just because it was a new topic to me. I had never been introduced to it in high school. So I hadn't really explored that subject at all. And so just getting used to that and getting used to how the professor wanted us to write philosophy papers and that kind of thing has been probably the most challenging I've had so far. Notre Dame is probably more of an academically inclined campus, as one might think, but we also have a pretty fair balance. For example, on game days, you won't find hardly anyone in the libraries because we're all out there supporting our team. So we just figure out how to balance both, but everyone's very focused on academics as their priority. And then the social life is definitely a close second. Sports at Notre Dame are huge, football especially. On game days, there are families that come from everywhere to watch the game, so campus is packed on game weekends, which is awesome. And the student body is so spirited when it comes to football games, and the whole student section, we have all our cheers and everyone knows them, and everyone's just so into the games, which I love. So football games are definitely the experience of a lifetime here at Notre Dame. Basketball games are up there as well with as far as spectator sports here. Both the men's and women's teams are very fun to watch, and especially this year are actually very good. So going to those games is very enjoyable. As far as getting involved as students that are not student athletes, there are definitely tons of ways to get involved in sports. There are inter-hall sports, which is you can join a team with your hall mates, which is great because then it provides for more bonding within your hall, and those are really fun. There's pretty much any sport you can think of within that realm. And then there's also intramural sports where you can join up like girls and guys on a team, and I've been involved in both, and I'm hoping to be involved throughout my 4 years here. And they just provide a nice outlet for students that aren't athletes but also want to participate in fairly competitive sports. While personally, my SAT score was a 2230, which is pretty, I'd say, normal for the student body around here. and I took 11 AP classes. I got 4s or 5s on all those exams, and then my GPA was a 4.6 overall, and I got straight A's all through high school. So that's basically my academic profile. Some of my other top choices for colleges were USC, UCLA, Northwestern, Cornell, NYU. Those were just some of them that I was considering, but I definitely, when I came here, I visited for 4 days and I just completely fell in love with it. I fell in love with the campus, with the people, and just with everything Notre Dame, and so I couldn't imagine going anywhere else after that visit. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this helped you to learn a lot more about Notre Dame coming from a student, and I'd be happy to talk more to you about Notre Dame. You can feel free to contact me to ask any questions. As you can see, I love talking about my school. So yes, I hope that you found this video helpful, and I hope that you will definitely consider coming here because it is an amazing place.